Or J.D. Martinez. How do you say that when a guy's been offered reportedly 5 years, $100 million by the Boston Red Sox? Those are the reports that are out there. And J.D. Martinez in his camp, led by Scott Boras, that's not good enough. This is a guy that they have reportedly wanted $200 million for. J.D. Martinez had a monstrous second half after being traded over from the Detroit Tigers to the Arizona Diamondbacks. You see what he was able to do, 29 home runs in just 62 games, which you initially look at that and go, okay, the perfect fit here is the Arizona Diamondbacks. But because they have a monstrous contract in Zach Greinke making $34 million a year, it looks like ownership doesn't want to go that route and bring back a guy that you know they would love to bring back, Ron. The guy had 29 home runs in 62 games. He was what Yoenis Cespedes was to the Mets a couple years ago. They'd love to go there. They financially cannot. Is 5 years for $100 million going to get it done for the Red Sox?
Is it going to get done for the Red Sox? Maybe. I mean, that's the problem we have in free agency right now, is that what we thought was going to be a continuation of business as it has and always has been since the late 70s. It's almost like the game has changed free agency right in the middle of it. So Martinez has been offered this contract. You thought he was going to make more. I'm sure his representation thought he was going to get more. And now you're starting to scale back, and you're seeing guys like Jay Bruce get $13 million a year instead of maybe 15 to 16. So business is not as usual.
Right, and you know what? You're starting to see, a guy like J.D. Martinez, guys that are in their 30s now, the clubs are starting to say, ooh, 6, 7 years? No, you're not seeing that anymore. You're starting to see, hey, the 5-year deal for $100 million. I think a big problem is at the luxury tax, teams aren't going over it now. Teams are sitting below. They're not with Yankees. Right? All these teams aren't willing to go over that tax. And I think that's hurt a lot of these free agents that, teams aren't spending as much. I mean, you look at J.D. Martinez's numbers and what he's done, even talk about 2017 compared to some of the Red Sox outfielders. But this guy's been a monster for the last 4 years, what he's done and how he goes to right center with authority and the home runs that he hits and the runs that he drives in. So 5 years, $100 million. You're right, Ronnie. Times are changing.
I don't know if Boston is even the best place after you mentioning that he loves to go to right center field. I think the other thing when you think about J.D. Martinez is that the people who run baseball now, they have these algorithms, they have these mathematics that they plug players into, and there's enough history of long-term contracts. And what happens if you're 29 years old instead of 31 years old? How long will you last? What is your, best period of play? They know all of this stuff. And once they know that and they plug it in, they look at it and they say, that is not a good deal. Right. This is the best deal that we can do right now. We'll see, though, if they have the patience of general managers before.
Yeah. They also evaluate the market. So Justin Upton is almost the exact same age as J.D. Martinez, but he found the team that liked him at the right time. He didn't go to free agency. They kind of tore up his deal, locked him up to an extension. Who's better, J.D. Martinez or Justin Upton? Though in Eric Hosmer is still waiting on his monster contract. J.D. Martinez is kind of a victim of the timing of where we are right now.
Yeah.
The Yankees aren't going over the threshold. They already got their big bats. Yep. The Dodgers don't want to go over the luxury tax. You look at the big markets, Sean, they're not wanting to go there. The San Francisco Giants got a lot of old money already. $14 million for Andrew McCutchen makes more sense. And if you're willing to go, okay, Scott Boras, $200 million for J.D. Martinez. If you're willing to go $200 million for J.D. Martinez, maybe you're like, well, could $300 million get Bryce Harper next year?
Right. I think that's part of it. That's part of it. You got Manny Machado, Bryce Harper coming off the books next year. That's a big deal. I mean, Kershaw's going to be out there, too. I'd be surprised if he obviously doesn't go back to L.A. But you're talking about teams that might want to spend a little bit more for J.D. Martinez, and they say, no, we might have a shot at getting Bryce Harper, who's an organizational game changer. This guy puts people in the seats. This guy puts up huge numbers. And look at their numbers, how close they are. And it's amazing you're saying that, Greg, because Bryce Harper and J.D. Martinez, the comparison, J.D. Martinez is better than Bryce Harper at that time. Bryce Harper's younger.
I'm talking like 24, 25.
But that 936 OPS compared to Upton and Hosmer on that other graphic, that's a huge telltale sign that his guy's a monster.
Age is everything. Age matters when they're going to do these long-term deals.